Hello again, this is Carl at Dugtail. I've just arrived at a job I generally do when the weather is wet. So this is just a little chat about scheduling work to your advantage. Now this job I'm at is a job where I can turn up at any time as long as I keep the area generally in good condition. It's a country lane that leads to a group of houses around a courtyard. And if the lane isn't maintained, everything sort of grows out into the road. Now they used to have a company come years ago and just send somebody down here with a tractor and a flail. But the problem with that though is it was never cleared up after or anything, so you was just left with branches and twigs all over the road. So I put in a quote several years ago, and it come out less than what this company was charging, plus we were doing more frequent visits, which were keeping the standard higher. So when the weather's bad, there's certain jobs that just aren't really that practical to do when it's wet. You know, for instance, I don't really want to be going up and down ladders all day when it's wet and the ladders are greasy. So I save a group of jobs back for when the weather is wet. And if I can, it's to be working on tarmac or concrete or any hard surface. So I'll just go and show you the job we're going to do. There's a school over there and a lot of water runs off the playing field. In November we came here and we did all the trimming and some pruning and that. Anything that we think is going to impede any cars going up and down, including delivery lorries. And then looking out for any potential branches that may be going to break in the future. So on this visit in December, all we're doing is clearing the leaves and clearing the gullies out. Just show you this. Thing is, if these gullies get filled up too much, the water starts crossing the road, and then you'd be surprised, and just water continuously going over the road would actually start breaking down the road a little bit. So the main thing with this job is just keep it in control. Don't let any branches start growing over the road. Don't give anybody a reason really to phone you up. Surprising how much nicer actually this road looks when it's done. So I'll try and do a little time lapse, and you've got something to compare it to then. Definitely don't want to be walking across somebody's nice lawn on a wet December day and making a mess. So, you know, if you're thinking about starting a business like this, or if you're still early in your business, see how many jobs you can find during the year which you can put back for when the weather's bad. Jobs you can turn up without notice. These are good jobs to have in this kind of weather. And if you're wearing the right clothing, it's okay. But if you can avoid going up and down ladders, working at height in the heavy rain, I definitely advise that. There's no point risking your life for any job. If you hurt yourself, you know, you could potentially end your career. So what I'll do now, I'll have a little drive down the lane and you can see the difference. So to me, this just does it just has a better feeling when you're driving up and down without all the debris everywhere. You have to come late here in December because there's a lot of oak trees and them leaves hang on the trees a long time. And the leaves you see still on the side, they're really wet and they'll just turn to muck. Once the water gets into them and they get heavy, they're not going to blow back out onto the road that easy. They're pretty much going to stay where they are now. Just a little tip, if you have got a battery blower, save the power in the battery for when you're working near houses. There's a lot of people working at home at the moment, and when you're in an area where there's a lot of hard surfaces like car parks and that, the noise really rattles around, you know, probably sounds louder than it really is, and the petrol blowers are quite loud anyway. So I'll just show you what Michael's doing. He's using that blower and the people in the houses would hardly know he's here at the moment. But that battery blower would have been no good for working on the lane. The power just wouldn't have lasted that long at all. But there's enough power in that battery for him just to go around and just clear the curbs up. You probably saw on the time lapse that a car pulled up and it was one of my customers, and we had a conversation about she needed some fencing fixed, and also the horse from the field got in again and made a mess on her lawn and stuff like that. So this is just an example of a vested interest, really, is that like we come here and cut the lawns all up, you know, 9 or 10 months of the year, and you know, she's you know, a good payer, reliable payer, but it's ideal when they come to you for other tasks as well. Now at the moment, the way I'm structured and that, I won't really do one-off fencing repairs for people I don't know. I've got to the stage now where I save a bit of time for doing ad hoc jobs for people who I do work for already, people who pay me on time, people I get on well, people I like working for. So it's amazing what will just pop up. There's a lot more interest in me to do this than somebody phoning me up and asking them to go and fit one Godfather. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would do it if I'm not busy, but at the moment, the way my business is, I just don't need to go and do one-off jobs for people I don't know. You know, maybe I'll take somebody new on in the future, and then it will create a lot more available hours, and then I'll jump on these jobs. But the way things are at the moment is I'm just making sure I'm available and got the skills as well to do, you know, a fence job, a repair, you know, anything for customers that give me work throughout the year. And it's nice to have a change as well, you know. It's like fencing. I won't want to do fencing every day of the week, but sometimes I really enjoy it. So it's good just to break off from doing some of the mundane jobs and do something different as well. Yeah, not get a little bit too content and comfortable with, you know, just cutting lawns or just trimming edges. You know, I can do landscaping as well, but it just takes too much of your time, and yeah, I don't really like being in the same place for more than 2 or 3 days, really. I like to move around, you know, create lots of invoices. So anyway, I'm just going to go in there now and have a look at the work she's asked me to look at, because you might as well do it while you're here. No point having to come down here again. So that's probably another little bit of advice, really. If somebody asks you to look at a job and you're in the area, just quickly go and do it, you know, or it's going to be on your list to do on the weekend and that. So there we go. Bye for now.